For example, when I was studying at University of Alberta, my monthly transit pass was included as part of my tuition fees. Now please note that this account is different from your GIC account which you had opened before coming to Canada, and you will need a Canadian bank account. This can create serious problems for you if something goes wrong down the road, and you might also have to spend hundreds of dollars just to get out of a situation. What's up YouTube, it's Shivansh here. When you move to Canada as an international student or as a new immigrant, there are 5 main things that you need to do as soon as you land in Canada, and all of these are extremely important things that you need to do if you want your journey in Canada to be smooth sailing, at least in the first few months. A lot of people, when they move to Canada, they don't realize that they have to get these things done as soon as possible because either there's nobody to guide them or because their college also doesn't tell them about these things specifically. And this can create serious problems for you if something goes wrong down the road, and you might also have to spend hundreds of dollars just to get out of a situation. For example, if you don't have a proper health insurance, then you might have to spend a lot of money in order to pay for your medical emergencies. But don't worry, in this video I will tell you exactly what you need to do, why is it important to do these things, and how to actually get all these things done as soon as possible. But before we get into that, please make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss out on any important updates or any important videos from my channel. And for this video, let's keep a target of 150 likes. It's not a huge target, and I'm sure you guys will help me achieve it because you guys will find this video to be extremely useful. With that being said, let's start this video. Now, the very first thing is a Canadian phone number that you need to get as soon as you land in Canada. Now, this is a pretty obvious thing, but it is extremely important to get a Canadian phone number because it will enable you to start your life in Canada. You will need a Canadian phone number to communicate with your friends and family after you land in Canada, and also to talk to your potential employers when they reach out to you for job interviews. And make sure to get a good internet plan because you will need it for navigation or for using Google Maps in order to figure out how to get to your school, how to get to your work, and how to get back home safely, especially because the weather in Canada is so unpredictable and it gets so cold, and it is important that you reach your destination safely and on time. Now, getting a Canadian phone number is actually pretty easy and straightforward. You just need to go to a mall or visit the store of any of the top telecom providers in Canada. For example, Bell, Rogers, TELUS, Freedom Mobile or Fido, etc. Now, I personally use Freedom Mobile because their plans are very affordable and they also have a good network coverage, at least in the major cities. And you can also get a $25 discount if you sign up for a Freedom Mobile account using the link in the description box below. So make sure to check it out if you're interested. Now, when you first move to Canada as an international student or as a new immigrant, you will most likely only be able to get a prepaid phone number, so you will have to pay the fee upfront at the beginning of every single month, and you will not be able to sign up for a postpaid account because for most postpaid accounts you will need a credit card or some Canadian history. But that's not a big problem. Later on, once you have a credit card and have some Canadian credit history, then you can convert your phone number into a postpaid account so that you don't have to pay it upfront or at the beginning of every single month. A pro tip for you is that most companies around the Christmas time or the New Year's time offer some amazing deals on their phones and their phone plans. So if you are planning to come to Canada around this time and are looking to buy a new phone or getting a new phone plan, then it's worth keeping an eye out for such deals because you can get some amazing discounts. Now, the second important thing that you need to do as soon as you land in Canada is getting your transit pass. So most likely in your initial days in Canada, you won't own a car and you'll be mostly using public transport to get from one place to another, and it will be better and cheaper for you if you get a monthly transit pass instead of buying single-use tickets, especially if you'll be traveling a lot or if you'll be buying a ticket every single day. Now, for example, if you're in the GTA region, then you can get a Presto card and load that up with your monthly transit pass for the city that you live in. For example, if you live in Toronto, then you can get a monthly transit pass for TTC. Similarly, if you live in Brampton or Oakville or any other city, then you should get a monthly transit pass for your city. You can buy your Presto card at your nearest Shoppers Drug Mart and add money to your card, or buy the monthly transit pass online through the mobile app. Now, if you are not in GTA, then the Presto card will most likely not work for you and you will have to figure out the transit system of your city. For example, when I was studying at University of Alberta, my monthly transit pass was included as part of my tuition fees. So before the start of every semester, I had to go to the university and get a sticker and put it on my ID card, my university ID card, and I would use that for accessing the public transit system. So basically, I did not have to buy any additional money monthly transit passes because my public transportation fees was also included as part of my tuition fee for the college. So whatever city you are in, you will have to check the transit system and then buy the monthly pass or the transit card accordingly. The next important thing is getting your Canadian bank account. Now please note that this account is different from your GIC account which you had opened before coming to Canada, and you will need a Canadian bank account, a savings account, so that you can receive your GIC money in that account and then use it. You will also be using your savings account to deposit or withdraw money from because you don't want to carry too much cash with you every single day. And with your savings account, you will also get a debit card which you'll be able to use to make daily purchases such as food or groceries or even paying for your phone or for your public transportation. And once you get a job in Canada, your salary will also get deposited into this account. So this account will basically serve as your identity in Canada, and that's why you will need to get one. And I would suggest you to book an appointment with your bank on the second or the third day of landing in Canada itself, because the banks in Canada are usually very busy and it might take you 1 or 2 weeks just to get an appointment with the banking advisor so that they can help you open a new bank account in Canada. And you can open your bank account with any of the top banks in Canada, so RBC, CIBC, Scotiabank, TD or BMO. Just find a branch that is nearest to where you are living at and book an appointment with them as soon as possible. A pro tip for you is that when you go for your bank appointment, make sure to tell them that you are an international student and you want to open a savings account and you also want to get a credit card. Now it is always a good idea to get a credit card as a student because there are several benefits of having it. Number one, it'll be free for you because you're a student, so you won't have to pay any monthly or yearly maintenance charges. And number two, it will help you build your Canadian credit history, which will be very useful for you when you want to buy a car or a house in Canada after a few years. And number three, you will also receive a lot of rewards and cashbacks if you use your credit card towards making your daily purchases. So make sure to get a credit card as well and learn how to use it properly by paying it off in full at the end of every single month so that you don't have to pay any money in the form of interest. The next important thing that you need to do is getting your SIN or your social insurance number in Canada. This is one of your IDs in Canada and it is equivalent to a PAN card in India. And you will need to provide your SIN number to your new employer whenever you start a new job so that they can pay your salary and deduct your taxes properly. Now getting a SIN is actually very easy. You just need to visit your nearest Service Canada office and you need to take with you your study permit, your work permit or your PR card along with your passport, and you also need to carry your bank account statement or your monthly phone bill statement, and you should be able to get your SIN pretty quickly. Now since it is a requirement to get your social insurance number before you start working in Canada, so I would highly recommend you to get your SIN as soon as possible. Okay, so the next important thing that you need to do is get your Canadian health card. Now this one is kind of optional because not everybody will be eligible for it, but if you are eligible for it, then you should get it as soon as possible because you will need your Canadian health card to avail the free healthcare services provided by the government of Canada. And this is extremely important because healthcare is extremely expensive in Canada if you don't have proper health insurance coverage. But as I said before, not everybody will be eligible for it, and your eligibility will depend a lot on the province that you live in. For example, in Ontario, only work permit holders or PR holders are eligible to get health insurance coverage by the government, and international students who are on their study permit will have to get their health insurance coverage by the university or through their college. But in Alberta, international students are also eligible to get the health insurance coverage provided by the government of Canada. So make sure to check the website of the province that you're going to and check your eligibility, and if you are eligible, then make sure to get your health card as soon as possible. Also, in some cases, even if you are eligible to get the government health insurance, you might have to wait for some time. For example, if you're in Ontario and you are eligible to get a health insurance coverage because you are a PR holder or a work permit holder, even in that case, you might have to wait for up to 6 months and spend 6 months as a resident of Ontario before you can get your OHIP card. So make sure to read all the requirements properly before you apply for your health card. And the final thing that you need to do as soon as possible, which is kind of optional, but I think it is still important for all the newcomers to Canada, and that is getting your Canadian driver's license. Now you won't really need a Canadian driver's license immediately after moving to Canada, but there are still some benefits of having it. For example, if you have a Canadian driver's license, then that will serve as an identity for you in Canada and you won't have to carry your passport with you everywhere that you go. The second reason is that the sooner you get your Canadian driver's license or the older your Canadian driver's license is, the cheaper your car insurance will be once you start driving in Canada or once you buy your car in Canada. So you'll be saving a lot of money in your car insurance just because you get your license a little sooner than everybody else. Now, even if you are an experienced driver from your home country, you will still have to give the learner's driver exam in Canada. The test is actually not that difficult, but you will have to read a small handbook to understand all the traffic rules in Canada. It will be an MCQ test on a computer and you can get your driver's handbook for free from your nearest drive test center. So that's everything I have for you guys. These are the most important things that you should do or you need to do as soon as you land in Canada as an international student or as a new immigrant. If you have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comment box below, and you can also reach out to me on Instagram at Singla119 and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Please remember to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel to watch more such videos about studying and working in Canada, and I'll see you guys in the next video.